Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 2309
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And it's gonna be autumn coming up on Wednesday. Hey, goodbye, summer. But I have to say, in the Bay Area, it didn't get that hot. Some summers it was crazy hot. I remember, what was it, 2018? Wow, that was one hot summer because
Mike's Daily Podcast.
We had a friend that worked in the promotions department of a radio station, and
Mike's
they got us
Daily
tickets
Podcast
to all kinds of cool fair events. The Alameda County Fair had all these beverage-related events that took place on Saturdays, I think it was, Saturday afternoons. The first one was the beer event, and in the Bay Area, lots of microbreweries, lots of people making beer. So they gave you a glass. Actually, no, it was plastic. They gave you a plastic with a little handle, made it look like a little beer stein, but it's little. And you go to all these different beer booths. And let me tell you, it was all guys. There was very few women. And let me tell you this other thing. The beer companies, I guess this is the thing to do. I don't know that much about this, although I do have a friend who is a brewmaster. Well, you know the brewmaster. Is he on today's show, by the way? No, he is not. Next one. Next Mike's Daily Podcast. A friend of mine who is a brewmaster, beer guy, makes beer. He I don't know. I have never asked him specifically about this, but what I have discovered.
And here's today's podcast picture.
It's a beer. No, it's of Half Moon Bay, Poplar Beach to be specific. I was there on Wednesday with my lovely lady friend. We were thinking and commemorating about the late great Basil the Boxer. Today would have been his birthday. He would have been 13 years old today, the late great Basil the Boxer. We've been thinking about him a lot today. And, it's tough. Boxers, it's not easy for them to live to 13. I've met people that say, oh, yeah, my boxer made it to 13. This guy had a lot going against him, unfortunately, health-wise, so towards the end. But Basil the Boxer, a little audio of him in his better days. But yes, we'll never forget him. So here's what we discovered when we went to this beer festival, this beer event, and free beer tasting at all these booths. All these booths had free wine. Beer. We'll get to the free wine one. That was the next day, the next weekend. But here's what we discovered. These beer people, these beer companies, these local beer companies, they hire these young women that are not wearing much, is how I will describe it. And they pour the beer. And I guess you try to get, this is what they do, I guess. They get attractive women so that more guys, they know a lot of guys will come. It's all guys. So pretty woman, that means they'll come to the booth and get beer. And I know this because we're getting beer from one of these booths, and I ask one of the ladies a question. She has no idea. She told me. She goes, I was hired to pour beer for this event. I go, oh, is that a thing they do? And she goes, yep, they do this all the time. So there you go. Now, the next weekend was a wine event, and that didn't happen so much. That was the actual vintners were there at the booth, and they would answer your questions. They were very cool, very kind, but I guess beer is a whole other animal. And I will tell you, too, that very few men at the wine tasting event. It was mostly women. And then the next event was hard liquor like gin, Scotch, whatever, whiskey. The spirits, I guess is what they would say. I don't know. Cafe, I don't know. Cafe, anyway. We did not go to that event. And this goes back to because it was so hot. 2018 was really hot. Now they're talking about how this year was so hot. Well, thankfully here in the Bay Area, not as bad from what I noticed. And today is quite chilly. And we're still technically in summer. I ain't complaining. I'm just observing. By the way, if you would like to listen to me, I'm going to be on a radio station on the internet tomorrow, and there's a link to that at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Check it out. I'm on from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, playing 70s, 80s, and 90s music. So we'll be grooving to that. Please tune in. It'd be great to have you aboard. That was what I wanted to talk about. That. And last night I went to a very cool, food truck event that was in Fremont. And it was a lot of people wearing masks. I don't get this whole why people get so upset about wearing masks. I have caught less colds and just less stuff than I typically would if I had not been wearing the mask. It certainly is. I ain't healthier. I have put on some pounds. I try. I don't really eat dessert. Mostly coffee is my beverage of choice. No alcohol. Oh, speaking of alcohol, so here's all that chat about alcohol. No alcohol lately at all. I don't buy it. I don't buy it for the house. I don't go out and buy it. Don't go to bars. Gosh. And I'm glad I don't, because I would feel bad, because alcohol wakes me up in the middle of the night. I don't like it because it turns to sugar, wakes me up. But it's also, I'm saving all this money because bars are so expensive. I was at this food truck event last night, and Das Brew was there, microbrewery out of Fremont, and that means the beer, or the brew, actually, in German. And I did not buy any beer because it was just like $8, really, and it's a tiny cup, and I'm still going to drive home. No. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton, the last place on earth. But I did get me a interesting California burrito. That is your typical burrito that they add the rice and the beans and the meat, if you choose, and the guacamole and the sour cream and the salsa. But then they also throw in there some French fries. Not that healthy. That might also be why Mike is not at his goal weight these days. But I'm still trying to get out there every day and walk. I'm still trying to get out there and enjoy the fresh air. I'm still trying to get out there, which you should do too. And I ain't afraid of wearing masks, but this is a very touchy subject because some people just go ballistic over the whole mask thing. And I don't get it. I don't know why it's such a cause. It's not like we're telling everybody, oh, you've got to get this chip injected into your body. Oh, no, but there's all kinds of robotic little micro robotics inside of the vaccines. That's why you can't take them, because the government put that in there. Because, it's Biden. Wait. What, wasn't Trump the one that got this whole thing started? It was like the country. Do you remember? We were all getting sick, and we were thinking, gosh, we sure could use a vaccine right now. So Trump said, let's do it. Let's get this done. And it was all about, Mike Pence and everybody, let's get the vaccine made. And then the vaccine got made, remember? And they gave it to elderly people first. And people were getting vaccinated, and everything was going along smoothly, and smooth. And suddenly, okay, yeah, we don't have Trump as president anymore. Ask yourself this question if you are a complete anti-vaxxer right now. If Trump were president, would you still be an anti-vaxxer? If the answer is yes, kudos to you. I can't wait to listen to your podcast. Send me a link. Call me now, 336-MM Daily. 3 plus 3 equals 6. MM as in Mike Matthews, Daily as in what this podcast tries to be but gets interrupted. But I would sure love to hear that opinion of you. If that is, because it's all because Biden's president. Because people want to, they don't want this government that's in office now. Because he cheated to get in there, apparently. He swayed all the votes. If you look at somebody who's internet savvy, would the first person you think of be Biden? Just saying. It probably wouldn't be me either. But, you know, an internet savvy person. What would an internet savvy person be? The kid that's the son on the Jetsons. Elroy. Wasn't it Elroy or was that the dog? Who was the dog? Astro. His boy Elroy, Jane's wife. Yeah, of course, it was Elroy. This world, right? That's all I'm saying. That's my millennial right saying, right? Isn't this messed up? So I'm talking about this because I'm very much going to get involved. I'm with some kind of organization that needs to spread more information, not misinformation. And and you know, we're all like, hey, I got the facts, I got the information, the rest is fake news. So maybe the problem here is nobody's listening and everybody's talking, and we should listen, but still, okay, I have the vaccine in my system. And I still wear a mask, and I'm fine. I live a happy, wonderful life. Maybe you are anti-mask, and you're not going to wear a mask, and you're not going to get the vaccine, and you're fine. But the chances are and this is not from stuff I've listened to on the radio or watched on TV or read on the internet. This is from my real everyday life reality. No aberration here. The truth is, the people that I know who have not gotten the vaccine are getting sick with COVID, and they're having to. And so this is the thing I don't understand as well, which maybe someone can enlighten me. The ones that are anti-vaccine, they're pro putting anything else in their body. They look at me and go, "Oh, how could you put that vaccine in your arm?" Yet they put every possible other thing in their system. Oh, we found this thing that grows on a tree that if you put it in a horse, it kills all their worms in their system, and it also does this, this, and this. Take this, and you'll not have to take the vaccine. Well, what? So, just to recall, I'm just saying we need to have a better long-term memory in this country. If we all just developed long-term memory skills, this is all we need. Because we're just thinking from moment to moment like a shark. And we're just forgetting everything that just happened. We just suddenly wake up and go, "Oh, yeah, that never happened. Trump never wanted us to have a vaccine. He didn't get a vaccine. Trump didn't get a vaccine. He's anti-vaccine. And we're all anti-vaccine. Yay!" Nope. Back it up. Dude. Trump did get a vaccine. So did Melania. So did a lot of people in his cabinet. There are a lot of Republicans that have gotten the vaccine. My mom, staunch Trump supporter. Staunch. That's a fun word, isn't it? Staunch. That's such a German word, staunch. Staunch be staunch. Staunch supporter of Trump got the vaccine. I go, "Mom, why is it so many people in the Republican Party are anti-vaxxers?" She goes, "I don't know. That's just messed up. That's weird." That message. So the message, all I'm saying the message of the Republican Party has gotten so just scattered and messed up with this whole fear of getting a shot. This whole anti-vax mentality has messed up the message. Okay, I can understand the Republicans going after Biden because of the whole Afghanistan thing, even though that also got started with Trump. But okay, so no, but Biden executed it all wrong at the end. All right, you can go on that. Even though you didn't care about Afghanistan 3 weeks ago, fine. I understand. So you're going with that. But okay, that's just Biden's got to do better foreign policy. Maybe he'll prove something down the line that his foreign policy is good. I don't know. Yes, there's really no way to dignify what happened. I understand that Republican message that I'm hearing all the time on conservative talk radio. Okay, what you're saying is this president has a terrible foreign policy. Okay, fine. But don't go on and on about the vaccine and how that was created by Biden, and he's just and the left-wing media, and they're just trying to put this in your body, and you want to show your freedom, and that's like saying I want to show my freedom by jumping off of a building right now and show that I don't need to be, you can't tell me what to do. I'm just going to do it. Well, it's going to kill you. It's already killed several conservative talk show hosts this year. Look it up. We're at like 5 now. Someone died in Daytona Beach, where my mom lives. That's a conservative talk show host said, I will never get the vaccine. I will not wear a mask. Well, you got COVID and you died. This is how it works. Now, some people survive COVID, and I hear that a lot. Oh, I got it, but I'm fine. It wasn't that bad. No, well, you're lucky. Do not even go down that road that COVID is harmless. That is ridiculous. Sometimes a snake is not harmless. Sometimes it will bite you and you will die. Ugh. Hey, did I just get on a pedestal? I'm going to jump off that pedestal because I want to talk about motivation. Maybe to get you motivated to get a vaccine if you haven't already, which at this point I don't think you are because you've waited way too long. But there's still a vaccine for you. Cafe, how to find motivation in life. And here is the biggest way to get motivation. And that is just start. Yes, that advice sounds utterly ridiculous, but there's a reason we've heard it a million times. It can work wonders. You don't always need to reason with your emotions or rationalize why you need to do something. You can deal with those negative feelings later on at the right time. Instead, try setting aside all the negative emotions and simply start. Mark Twain said, "The secret of getting ahead is getting started." Break the tasks down, these big, ominous tasks down into small steps. The best way to eat an elephant is, don't eat an elephant, by the way. They're lovely creatures. Why are you eating an elephant? But if you had to, the best way would be one bite at a time. Another piece of groundbreaking advice. Again, there's a reason so many people recommend that you use this tactic when trying to motivate yourself. Sometimes it's the simplest things done well that work the best. Remember, you can't do everything at once. That's why the painter Vincent van Gogh said, "Great things are done by a series of small things brought together." A series of small things. They come together to make a big, great, awesome thing. Here's a method to help you find motivation to get things done. Write down what you need to do on a piece of paper. Oh, yeah, you heard that before. Oh, yeah, cliche. Oh, yeah, it works. Then write down every single step you need to take to make it happen. Finally, ignore everything except the step you're working on. Don't think about the rest of the list, just the step you're on. Once in the flow, you just might find it easier to continue with the new task. Create a positive mindset. positivity. This goes back to the last podcast. We were talking about the best way to wake up. Try and go to bed with a positive mindset. That's the best way of getting motivated. It's almost impossible if you're looking at the situation from a negative viewpoint. On the other hand, positivity can be energizing and help you to motivate yourself. Ask yourself, what's good about this situation? Catherine Pulsifer said, if we have the attitude that it's going to be a great day, it usually is. Going back to what we said on the last podcast about waking up and going to bed with a positive attitude, waking up with a positive attitude. Create a feeling of gratitude. The attitude of gratitude. Yes, that's a cliche, but still, when you find yourself stuck in a rut, it can feel impossible to motivate yourself. So before you try to motivate yourself, take a step back and try to appreciate how you feel. When you feel appreciation for yourself, it's much easier to stay motivated. One of the quickest ways to feel good about yourself is to practice gratitude. It's almost entirely impossible to feel low and grateful at the same time. To practice gratitude, start by writing down 3 things you're grateful for. 3 things. It could be anything. The coffee. The microphone that I'm talking into. This chair. Ideally, you would make this part of your daily routine to find everyday motivation. Be kind to yourself. Be constructive when you realize you've made a mistake or finally bring yourself back from a procrastination session. You have a golden opportunity to learn and improve. Ask yourself, why did I make this mistake? How can I avoid making the mistake in the future? And I'm feeling an earthquake right now. Wow. It's like somebody just took my chair and shook it back and forth. California podcast, y'all. Here in Podcastro Valleyton. Nice little earthquake. And they just had one in LA last night. This morning. So California is shaking. Wow, California is shaking. They had like a 4-point something. This might have been a 4-point something. It just felt like one. That's a first. First time I was doing a podcast and had an earthquake happen simultaneously. Because I feel the earth move. It's still kind of shaking. Ooh, aftershock. Yep, a little bit of an aftershock. Although I will tell you, long-time Californian here, growing up in California, aftershocks are misleading. After that big one, the Northridge one, when was that, 91, 92, 93, somewhere in there, I felt like I was having an aftershock sensation, but it's just sometimes your body is a little bit, especially when you drink as much coffee as I did and do. So back to why did I make this mistake? How can I avoid making it in the future? If you do this and act on what you learn, that's the thing, is acting on what you learn, you'll transform mistakes into opportunities. Don't be down on yourself because you've made the mistake before, or you're like, well, I know I shouldn't do it, but I just don't learn. I never learn. I'm going to make it again. I know I am. No, you're going to change things this time. This time it's going to be cool. This is going to be the first day of your life. Cliche. Cliche. But yes, this time you're going to do it differently, because this time you're smarter. You're going to try and be smarter every day. If you do this and act on what you learn, you'll transform mistakes into opportunities, because that's what you're going to do, right? Transform mistakes into opportunities. The entrepreneur Ariana Huffington said, "We need to accept that we won't always make the right decisions, that will screw up royally sometimes. Understanding that failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of success." And yes, I did try to do Ariana Huffington in a Zsa Zsa Gabor voice. It didn't go so well. But I'll learn from that mistake. Cut your to-do list down. That will help you stay motivated. Set attainable goals that excite you. Imagine your future. If you don't change, that's a motivation. Reflect on how far you've come. Remind yourself of your why. Motivation comes from working on things we care about. said Sheryl Sandberg. Take a moment to write down 3 reasons you want to find motivation to get things done. Do you want to improve your fitness, get an education, save money, start a business? Why? Keep coming up with answers until you find ones that help you stay motivated. Write those down. Maybe it's not 3. I don't understand the 3 thing in this list, but they like the number 3. 3 people like the number 3. It works in comedy. It works in life. Eliminate distractions mercilessly. Distractions are the enemy of focus. If you want to get motivated, you have to eliminate distractions. Warren Buffett said the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. You can have anything you want, however, you can't have everything you want. Commit 100% to the deal you're making or what you're working on. Nothing comes for free. When you want something, you have to give something in return, whether it's time, effort, hard work, or emotional discomfort. Declutter and tidy up. Change your inputs. You are what you eat, so realize that what's going into your system, into your brain, you control, and you can make it better. Food, music, podcasts, TV, social media. If you're finding it challenging to motivate yourself, mix things up a bit. Listen to motivational podcasts. Check out a must-read book. Watch inspiring videos. Look to people in your life for motivation, too. And ask for help from friends and family. You're not alone. You need to get help from others. And that's completely okay. Follow inspiring people who motivate you as well. Socrates said, smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people from their experiences. Stupid people already have all the answers. Listen to an upbeat song. Remember your power and potential. You are powerful and you have enormous potential. You may not feel like it sometimes. You may even feel like you're even silly for considering it. Author Alice Walker said the most common reason people give up their power is because they think they don't have any. This is all from the website Oberlo. That's Oberlo. Why did I say Oberlo? It's Oberlo. Oberlo.com. And there you go. So hopefully you have been motivated by this. Thomas J. Law wrote that article. Thank you, Thomas. Hey, you know what? We're outside a cafe anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valleyton. We've just had a dang earthquake. Let's say hi to some people. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. All the snow globes in the gift shop, they fell off the shelves during the earthquake and they broke, Mike Matthews. Oh, that's so sad. So we can't say Rosebud anymore. No, Mike Matthews, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, thus, we don't need to talk about it. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer, Mike, yes. I don't understand why everybody hates scientists these days. It's really stupid. You know what? I really appreciate scientists. I appreciate engineers. I appreciate anybody that says, hey, why are we doing it this way? And questioning things, but don't be stupid. Like I was just saying, was it Socrates that said it? Supposedly Socrates said it. Oh, here's another one. You can either experience the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The choice is yours. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I guess that's about taking a chance on things in life, right? Right? I guess that's where that came from. Smart people learn from everything and everyone. Average people learn from their experiences, and stupid people already have all the answers. So I don't have all the answers. I had a friend. Sadly, he passed away. But this friend of mine used to tell me over and over again, if you see your guru in the middle of the road, run him over. And then he told me that is from like some Buddhist saying or something. I don't know. And sadly, he's not here to explain what he was saying. But I think what he may have meant was be careful of anyone giving you, don't follow anyone blindly. And it's good to question things. And this is why this person that I know who is an anti-vaxxer, I listen to his arguments and I go, okay, all right. And it's America and you're free to believe what you want. And I ain't going to stand in your freedom. But please, I wish you would have a little more common sense about some stuff. But who am I? I am simply a guy who's podcasting, who is actually wrapping up his podcast. And soon I will not be podcasting because the podcast will be over and done. All we have to do, though, now is listen for A-Frame to tell us where we can contact Mike Matthews and give him all of our angry emails. Because all vaccines are horrible. Don't put them in my body. I have a clean body. I am an Earth Mother. Or whatever else you want to say. Please, all that information can go through to this website here. And to tell us about that, it's A-Frame. Talk to you again soon, hopefully. Yay!
Staunch.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!
Staunch.